Good morning. This is another example of solving a quadratic equation by using the quadratic formula. Importantly, if you look at the equation that you were given, it is not in the standard formula of ax squared plus or minus bx plus or minus c. So the given formula is not quadratic, which means you must first simply calculate it out and to get a quadratic equation. So when you look at the right hand side, we've got two brackets, which means we can multiply them out. First term times first term times second term, second times first, second times second, which gives us this on the right hand side. Then remember, we want to have one of the sides equal to 0, which means we need to take all the terms to the right hand side. That means we are going to use the golden rule for equations, which is the opposite operation, which I call goro is o. If you don't know this yet, please watch my videos on solving linear equations in which I explain that. So once you have taken everything over to the right hand side, my final and collected the like terms, my final equation is 0 equals 9x squared plus 24x plus 16. And from now, again, people, you are just simply going to identify the a, which is equal to 9, the b, which goes along with x, is equal to 24, and the c, which is my whole number. Then remember the quadratic formula is x equals negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. And in the next step, you substitute the values. So instead of b, you write 24. But importantly, take down the negative there. It's really important. Then again, before the square root, you always have plus or minus. Substitute b with 24. Put that into brackets, people, because that's the way you would read that into your calculator also to ensure that you get the right answer. Minus 4, substitute a with 9, c with 16, over 2, and then substitute a again with 9. Then please first calculate out your square root. So if you look at this, it will give you an answer of 0. So the square root of 0. Therefore, the plus and minus in this case makes no difference, people, because you're going to add or subtract 0, which is making your answer only one possible answer, which is negative 1 and 1/3. Now remember, when you look at the graph that would have been drawn by that, then your x must lie at negative 1 and 1/3, just for a visual picture. Then at the same time, example 32, I'm going to just indicate the difference here to all the other examples. Again, you've got a quadratic equation. You will substitute that into the quadratic formula, but importantly now, have a look at your square root. Your square root has a negative value. Importantly, now the negative is inside the square root. And if you would put that into your calculator will actually tell you that it is a maths error, which means it's impossible to take the square root of a negative 15. You can't do that, which means there is no real root to this answer. And once again, if you look at the graphic representation for it, then you can see that the graph does not cross the x, and that is why x does not have an answer. Okay, I hope you get on. Keep well. Bye.